Go ahead. I'm enjoying what you're doing.
Just tell me when you want me to stop.
Okay. All right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you all for being here and sharing this Shabbat with all of us. It's been an amazing week, as usual, and I'm very glad to be here tonight with all of you. Thank you for being here. I am joined tonight by Genevieve on flute, doing some of the songs. I'm going to ask Allison to come up and help with a couple of the songs, and I'm probably going to somehow ask most of you to come up and do something. So, and I'm asking Josh to come up and help with one of the songs as well, because he knows other things besides the Kiddush. So I thought I would show that. So we will start on page 142 with Shalom Aleichem. When you're ready. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMalchim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Li melech Malachim HaMalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei HaMalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzechem l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi-melech Malachei HaMalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And with that, I would like to invite Kimmy up to light the candles for us.
I didn't have these 44 years ago. Does it matter which one?
Nope.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
So would you like to talk for a minute about why you are sponsoring the Oneg?
I was saying to Patty that I thought as president I should model good behavior or volunteer spirit by hosting an Oneg, And which I haven't done on my own in a while, and when I was looking through, I saw March 21st, and it reminded me, oh yeah, that's an important day, when I had my bat mitzvah right here. And so I saw that Genevieve and Josh, that they were leaving the services. I asked Genevieve if she could play the flute, and that just makes me smile. But it's a trip when I think about my bat mitzvah, because it was the first one we had in this building, and it ended up being the last one that Rabbi Gates did, because he passed away a month later. So they're just connected. Those two moments are just so connected. And it was a big deal that my uncle Max came, who was 99. He was my great-grandfather's brother.
Wow.
And when he walked in, you would have thought everybody was going to collapse in shock that he came. I don't know why, but he came, and anyway.
Representing generations.
Yeah, good memories. And the sisterhood did a massive spread in the social hall, but I can't tell you a thing about my Torah portion. I don't remember it.
And in case people don't know, Kimberly's family was one of the founding families of this temple. And her son is the 5th generation Temple Israel.
So right here.
Yes.
And most of you would know.
I'd like to invite Skip to come up and do the Kiddush. That is on page 123. Thank you for asking.
Not enough with this Garfinkel stuff. I want to congratulate Eric and Lauren on their 37th anniversary.
37, yeah.
That deserves a medal for one of you.
Her.
And I was going to say that. And welcome the rest of you to the celebration of the vernal equinox. I always drink wine on the equinox. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kadsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikroei kodesh, zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu beharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kashecha, bi'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Thank you.
It's real wine?
I could smell it from over here. Page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us and bring that vision to life. Allison, if you want to come up, and we can sing L'cha Dodi.
I'll do a little intro. It's, okay.
Page 138. סוף מעשה Please rise and face the door. Thank you. Okay, we're on page 145. And Shelley, can you come up and do a reading for us?
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
Thank you. All right, we have reached the transition. We're out of the warm-up and into the big leagues. We're out of the play-in round and we're into the actual playoffs. No, that's not what we're here. The arc of the service moves us from the regular world, the everyday mundane world, into a sacred space. We did these previous songs together to get us out of our normal lives and into this sacred space. And this is the prayer of transition, the Kaddish. This is a Chetzi Kaddish that takes us from our regular lives and into the sacred space, creating the sanctuary. So we're on page 144. Please rise. Yitkada veyitkada shemei rabba be'alma divrei cherutei v'amlich malchutei be'chayechon u'me'omechon u'v'chayechon beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'meru amen. Yehesh me rabba mevorach le'alam uvad me'almaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitnaman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah brihu le'elam min korberata b'shirata tushbechata v'nehemata damiran be'alma v'meru amen. Stay standing for a minute. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. And so now we come to the Barhu. That's why I asked you to stay standing, so you didn't have to sit down and then stand up again. And this is the moment when I will ask you if you're ready to pray, and you will hopefully reply that you are. Baruch et Adonai Amvarach. Baruch Adonai Amvarach le'olam va'ed. Okay, so we are on page 149. Patty, can you come up and do a reading for us?
Which one?
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand, uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai ha'arav avariv.
Thank you. Okay, we come to Ahavat Olam, and that is on page 150.
Yes.
Yes, and you get to sit.
Okay.
Only if you want to.
Okay. Okay. Start at the beginning.
Beit Israel, Amcha Ata Afata, Torah u'mitzvot, ukimu mishpatim, otanu limata nadita, atanu ladita. Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shalchenu, u'b'kneinu nasiach b'turah, v'nishma mirei toratecha, u'mechachei v'shalom ba'ed, ki hem hayenu, ve'orech yameinu, Uvachem negei amam, naam laila. Natacha, al tasir meimei. Ata Adonai, oteva mo Israel. Ohev amo Israel. You will in a minute. Not yet. So we're going into the Shema in a moment, and I invite you to stand or sit. Now and go within yourself. I'm going to do a reading first, but I want to go straight from the reading into the Shema. So stand or sit now and go within yourself for just a moment. And when we get to it, let's do it really slowly and breathe. Page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. And you can be seated. And I need you all to say this loudly because I never had a bar mitzvah, so I don't know the Ve'ahavta very well. So I need some help. Okay? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levecha v'chol nefsecha v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha ve'bedarta bam v'shiftecha v'necha uvlechacha v'derech uvlecha ugomecha ukartam leot al yedecha uletotafot ben enecha uftartam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru ve'esitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim leochem ani Adonai Elohechem asher otzietechem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. So on the bottom of that page is the English version, and I think it's so important. I'd like to read that if I can. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. Okay, page 157, please. And I'd like to do this responsively. I will read the indent to the left, and you read the indent to the right. In a world torn by violence, do you need this? Hang on.
Oh, thank you.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from holiness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice at singing on the shores
Of the sea. And then I'd like to invite Allison up again. And you can sing along or you can play.
Oh, play.
Either way. And this is on page 158.
All right. Ta-da. You can start from the top.
No right to heal. Oh,
V'ne'emar kifed Adonai et Yaakov, u'galo miyad hazek memenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Israel. And Allison, can you read on 161, Let There Be Love?
Turn the page. Okay. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lay down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukkot shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo, Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Josh, can you come up and help me sing Yismechu? I mean, I know you can, but will you? This is on page 165.
No, you'll just sing it.
No, I gotta do it all by myself.
No, we'll do it together.
Oh, it's got a new
One,
title. Mine doesn't have it.
page 165, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, 162, you are correct. Somebody is dyslexic and read it two with the five.
Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Aham mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu, V'yitangu Metu V'cha Shabbat, Yismechu V'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat V'orei, Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu V'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim, oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korek oneg Shabbat.
I think of 15-year-olds at camp, banging. Well, they get it from the Hasidim. That's 165. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. So now we're on 64. We're going to begin the tefillah, the Amidah, the standing prayer. So please rise. We'll recite the Amidah through page 70, and when you are done, please remain in conversation with God or the divine or yourself for just a few minutes. And when you're done, please sit. We will resume on page 178 with Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. One more time. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Ha'amel Hasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh HaKol, Ve'zocher Hasdei Avot B'imot, U'mevi Gula Livnechem Be'echem, Leman Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Le'oshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Marid HaGashem, Mechachel Hayim Be'esed, Mechayeh HaKol Ve'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Be'rofi Kolim, U'matir Asurim, U'mechayeh Emunato Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Gilurot, Umido Melach, Melech Menid Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah le'otako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh, Yishimcha kadosh, U'karoshim b'kol yom hallelu selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Israel Amcha Yasim Leolam. Ki Ata Israel Amcha Yasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rahav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Etov benecha levarech et Amcha Israel b'kol et b'kol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rahav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We're on page 180. Allison, if you can come up. Meanwhile, I will read, "My God, guard my speech from evil and my lips from deception. Before those who slander me, I will hold my tongue. I will practice humility. Open my heart to your Torah, that I may pursue your mitzvot. As for those who think evil of me, cancel their designs and frustrate their schemes. Act for your own sake, for the sake of your power, for the sake of your holiness, for the sake of your Torah, so that your loved ones may be rescued. Save with your power and answer me." Ratzon imrei fi behion levi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, vegoali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Oseh shalom bimromav, Oseh shalom bimromav, Uyaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Israel, ve'amru Amen. Need a little more rehearsal.
Yeah, why doesn't it do English?
That song was written by Kenner Brian Reich and passed to.
No, Cantor Simon.
Kenner Simon wrote that?
Yeah, it was his father who wrote it.
All right. Well, Brian recorded it and taught it to Rob Kaplan, who taught it to all of us.
I mean, I don't know, Cantor Brian said that it was his father's.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay. Kenner Brian taught it to me.
Taught it to us.
Okay, so at this moment, we go to the Mishaberach prayers on page 371. There are those in our lives who suffer from illness of body or illness of spirit. The Mishaberach prayer is of healing and hope. Petitions God to grant healing to those in need. Those in our community who we know are in need of our prayers and thoughts. Joyce Salinas, Svetlana Losevic, Fartak Cheng, Elaine Kaufman, Christina Knapp, June Lilly, Jean-Pierre Chalouche, Stacy Robert Orr, Jason Brooks, Larry Leichman, Cantor Pamela Sawyer, and Margaret Rowland. Is there anyone else?
John Paglia and Sue Woodholm.
And there are others who don't want their names read, and we keep them in our prayers as well. So page 371. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor havracha v'avotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mechor havracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, this week in the portion is a lot of rules. But that's not what I'm going to talk about tonight. Because as most of you know, I lead a Torah study group. And we decided to read very, very slowly. We read a couple of paragraphs, spend an hour and a half talking about them. And then we pick up where we left off. And so the entire Jewish world has lapped us and then some. We are a year and a half behind everybody else. And I have been spending the last month or 2 months reading the Joseph story, which is also the Judah story, which is also the Rachel story, I'm finding out. And I wanted to talk about the section that we're actually on this week, which is when Jacob blesses his 2 grandsons. He adopts his grandsons, makes them his own sons, and then he blesses them, Ephraim and Manasseh. And for reasons that are not entirely clear, the Jewish world adopted this. And it is the blessing that has been given for generations, many generations, by the father to the son every Shabbat. And then in the last number of decades, we've added the girls. The boys are blessed and asked to be like Ephraim and Manasseh. The girls are asked to be like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, that we just talked about a minute ago. And I find it odd. But let's talk about the girls first. Sarah is an obvious role model. Sarah is the archetypal matriarch. It is written that she is the bridge to the previous, more matriarchal religion that existed before Abraham. It is written that she is a Coheness. She is a woman priestess. And Abraham marries her, and the archetypal patriarch marries the archetypal matriarch. And this is derived from that she is a woman of great authority. She is the person that God says to Abraham, do what she says, right? And many people laugh and say that's the greatest piece of advice a husband's ever been given, and they're not wrong. But understand that in the context of the patriarch, in the context of Abraham being told by God to do what Sarah says, is a very big deal. It says something about her authority and her majesty. Rebecca, is the woman who talks to God and God gives her prophecy. She is prophetess. God tells her that her younger son, Jacob, will be greater than her older son, Esau. But she doesn't rest on that. She models for us the partnership that we have with God. Because as she raises her son, she also understands why God said that. And she understands that Jacob is the one who needs to carry the blessing forward. She's the one who will carry the thread and the philosophy and the ideas forward. And so she takes action. And she manipulates to make sure that Isaac gives Jacob the blessing instead of Esau. And she does this at enormous personal cost. Jacob has to flee. She never sees him again. He's not at her funeral. And we don't know what the relationship between her and Esau was, but we can't think that it was good. So she lost both of her sons, carrying out God's will, this enormous act of faith on her part. Rachel is beloved. Her main aspect is that Jacob loves her so much. And he works 14 years for her. And when she dies in childbirth, he never recovers. He becomes this broken man. And the repercussions just fan out across the family. In the section I was just reading, it is 35 years after her death, and Jacob is talking to Joseph, and Rachel is in that room. Her presence, Joseph's mother and Jacob's wife, is still in that room with them. And Leah, not as loved, except by God. She is given many, many children, which in Torah means blessed. That's what that means in Torah. We've changed this over time. And her children, two of them are Judah, who goes on to lead and become the reason that we're called Jews, for example, and Levi, who founds the priestly class and becomes the people who make temple called Judaism work. So she gives birth to these crucial, important people in Jewish history. And so they're good women to bless after. Why wouldn't you? Right? But now Ephraim and Manasseh, what did they do? Nothing. There's nothing in the Torah about them. They found two of the major tribes in the kingdom. Manasseh has an enormous territory, one of the largest territories, but most of it's outside of the land, in what's now Jordan. And Ephraim founds the dominant tribe of the northern tribes, the 10 northern tribes, and is also where one of the authors of the Torah lived, the E-author. But they have no personality in the Torah. They take no actions in the Torah. We don't know anything about them. So why do we want our sons to be like them? In my view, there's another view that says that it's because they are the first two brothers that didn't fight. That the previous generation, right, Isaac and Ishmael and Jacob and Esau had a lot of strife. And these two brothers don't. We don't know, because it doesn't say one way or the other. But because it doesn't say that they did, we're going to assume they didn't. But I think it's very different, and I think the reason that I'm even giving this drash is because I think it's one of the most important stories for Temple Israel in Torah. These two boys had an Egyptian mother, the daughter of a high priest of the Egyptian religion. Her father was a priest of On, the sun god. And they grew up in Egypt. And Manasseh is the older one, and his name means, his father names him and says, I am finally able to give up the burdens of my youth. In other words, I am in Egypt and I am free of that family. And Ephraim is, and I have been prosperous. So the 21st century psychological reading of this is he was finally able to let go of the baggage that his upbringing had given him. He was finally able to be fruitful and happy because he had left that behind. In my mind, it's part of becoming an adult. And one of the sayings is that at 40, you are responsible for your own face, meaning that you are now own your life. You don't get to blame your parents anymore, or your brother, or that second grade teacher that just. So these two boys raised in Egypt, in my mind, utterly Egyptian. Torah doesn't say this, but doesn't say anything otherwise. By a father who has left what is then Hebrew, Israelite, culture and religion behind, perhaps. In Egyptian schools, spoke Egyptian, and yet Jacob takes them and blesses them before any of his own children. He blesses them because he sees that they still have the Jewish spark. He sees that they still have what we call the Pintel Yid, tiny spark of Judaism within them. And he wants to bring that out, and he wants to make sure that they know where they come from. And he does, because those two do, in fact, found two of the great tribes of Israel. And for me, that's what we do here at Temple Israel a lot with the kids. The kids come in households where Judaism is not observed very much. Sometimes the grandma is paying and insisting that the kid go. Parents aren't even that into it. And what we do, we hope, is to find that spark and fan it into a flame. To find that thing within them. Incidentally, if we can get the parents to do it too, that'd be great. And I think that's why through the generations we have blessed our kids, because we have been in many strange lands. We have been in many, many places where it wasn't possible to practice Judaism. And yet our kids kept it going. And they passed it to their kids, and they passed it to their kids. And so the chain comes down to us. And we hopefully are passing it to the next generation. May all of our children have the authority and majesty of Sarah. May they understand their partnership with God like Rivka. May they be loved by their partners and by their friends and families of choice. And may they create, either through birth or by their own imagination, may they create things that exert leadership and holiness in the world. And may they find their Jewish spark, and may they fan the Jewish sparks of all of those around them. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right. So we are on page 586. For the Elenu, is anyone observing a yahrzeit or in a period of mourning, please? Please rise. Aleinu shebeach ladon hafol, latet grua yotzer reshit, shelo sanu keharatzot, velo samanu kishmachot adama, shelo sam kachenu kachem, vegor aleinu v'tovol hamonam, v'anachnu chorim, u'ishtachalim Elohim, v'nei melech malchei hamalchim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, v'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You can be seated. We're going to be on page 595. But first, a friend of mine suggested that when we are in relationship with someone, we are in relationship with their past. All that they are now is a summation of what they have been. They are constantly becoming, and that's what's glorious about knowing someone, watching them become something. But standing next to them, you can't know what they will be. So you relate to what they were, even 1 minute ago, to what they have been before, and you watch them become something new. But when someone dies, that becoming stops. And all you have is their past self, their glorious life with their strengths and weaknesses, their wonderfulness and their shortcomings. What an amazing thing a life is. How wonderful it is that we can continue to be in relationship with those who have passed. And that's what this poem on page 595 reminded me of. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who have died in this season and years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Is anyone marking Shiva or Shloshim? We extend our condolences to the families in our congregation who are grieving the passing of these loved ones in the last year. Stella Campbell, Barbara Choate, Gabriel Fettig, Carol Foreman, Phyllis First, Arlen Gulko, Morley Helfand, Audrey Hyman, Michael Hyman, Mark Klein, Kenneth Kaufman, Scarlett Lehman, Dick Levine, Brian James Newberg, Arona O-ring, Adeline Spiker. Is any other yard sites being? Our hearts join with those who are mourning the loss of a loved one at this season in years past. Mark August, Karen Bell, George Dutton, Cheryl Gore, Francis Greenspan, Sigwart Kuso, Fanny Litvak, Irving Lutz, Vicki Mandel, Harry Markowitz, Sidney Solinger, Boris Solomonnik, Johanna Tenenbaum, and Kim Turner. Anyone else marking a yard sale? May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. We are on page 598. Please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba ve'alma divrei chichtei melkutei ve'aychon ve'mechon ve'kei be'kol Beit Yisrael ha'galal izman kariv yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam amei almaya. Yitbarach ve'yistabach ve'yipar ve'yitnamam ve'yitnaseh Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei, Kusha, Brichu. Le'ela min kol berata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Damiran ve'alma imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemayim. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Israel v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'moma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Imru. Amen. Be seated. What do you want to do?
I was going to do this
Great.
for our closing. Oh, did we do announcements yet?
Well, we didn't do announcements yet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Kimberly's special day, and I almost skipped her. Terrible. I would like to invite to the Bima our president, Kimberly McVicker.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
You snuck in. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So this is actually kind of funny. Daniel wrote this. So thank you, of course, to Eric and especially Genevieve, and also thank you to Jerry Rabinowitz for being at the greeter table tonight. So here's the part I guess I should say in case he's watching the recording. Our Oneg is sponsored tonight by, and then he put in parentheses, pause and look around the room, and they go, me. He wrote that. So you can tell him you saw that I did it. For the 44th anniversary of my bat mitzvah, which you already heard that before. Tomorrow at 9:30, Eric is holding the Lay-Led Torah study on Zoom. You can speak to him later about getting the Zoom link. Monday is our Temple Israel Book Club, and that's at 7 o'clock on Zoom. Something very exciting is Social Justice Committee is sponsoring a Zoom meeting on Thursday, March 27th, and that's with Jason Harris. And the topic may not be all that exciting of anti-Jewishness and how to respond, but if you have not heard his podcast, You Ought to Know, I totally recommend it. It's really good, so check it out and register to get the Zoom link. Next week's Shabbat service will be on Saturday morning, led by Rabbi Minster, with lunch catered by Gather and Grub. And then March 31st, that's a Monday, is Dave's Swingtime Band is back. And we have a great thing coming up on for Shabbat on April 4th and 5th, is that it is our bat mitzvah for Lila Apperton, who's absolutely adorable. Definitely come and check that out. That is it. Maybe she'll bring her dog Gracie. I know there'll be barbecue. Yes.
Oh, yeah, the 30th.
Yes, sorry. March 30th, Betty and Genevieve are giving a presentation about their trip to Tanzania.
It's cool.
Was that 2 p.m. it said?
Yes,
2 o'clock in the library. Yes. Well, I think he was trying to keep me to one page. Yes, the Passover Seder will also be here before we know it, April 13th. Doors open at 4:30. Get your tickets now before they go quickly. There is the QR code out there if you want to scan that on your phone and reserve your spots. What else am I forgetting?
Speaking of getting tickets, get your tickets for the gala.
Yes.
Yet. Do it.
Oh, and the tribute book.
Yes, if you want to promote your business or put a special greeting for any of the honorees, definitely turn in an ad for the tribute book. That is, I think, April 15th is the deadline, but there's forms out there.
And the starting price is $18.
And it's like, April's coming quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's
you.
everything. Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much, Genevieve.
welcome.
It was such an honor to be up here with all of these wonderful people,
Women.
all of these wonderful women, these powerful, powerful women. And
And
we don't count.
for the closing song, we're going to do the Shir Aladonai. It's something that I played in the very beginning. If you don't know the words, just say die, 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 die. But if you know the words, I know that Allison knows the words. So here we go. Just in case, so that you know what the words are, sing a new song to the Lord. Renew yourselves, all people on earth.
Thank you. And as we opened with, go in peace, you ministering angels, and spread this spark. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, go ahead. We need to turn off the light also.